Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Random Review Squad, and today we'll be looking at the Oppo Reno 8 Pro. I've been using this for the past 2 weeks or so, and it's honestly been an amazing experience. Let's talk about the design first. This design is really shiny. It's got a glass back and an aluminum frame. It's such a waste to put it into a case. It's actually a beautiful phone, and it feels good in your hand. It feels premium, and honestly this is such a daring design to go after. Obviously it's a fingerprint magnet, but you know, it's just such a looker. It looks very different from all the other phones out there. It's definitely something that will catch people's eyes. Now let's talk about the phone's specs. It's got a amazing 6.7 inch display, 1080p display of course, Corning Gorilla Glass 5, Android 12 with ColorOS 12.1, runs the MediaTek Dimensity 8100 Max chip, which has been pretty fast, runs all the games pretty well. It's also got a 256GB storage with 12 gigs of RAM. It's got a 4500 milliamp hour battery, and the charging is of course always something to look at. It's got an 80 watt charging, and it does 1 to 45% in 10 minutes. I think about 100% in almost 39 to 40 minutes. I've tried it out, and yeah, it's actually really fast, and that's insane. I mean, it's almost scary, but I think there may be a lot of people who would love to have a phone that charges that quickly. Let's talk about the cameras. We've got a 50 megapixel f1.8 camera, and then you've got an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera and a 2 megapixel macro camera. You can take shots in HDR, 4K at 30 fps for video. The selfie camera is a 32 megapixel f2.4 wide angle camera, and the best part is it all costs only about $700 to about $800. $800, and you get this phone that's jam-packed with specs and fast charging. And not to lie, it's a really decent camera on this phone, and everything else is actually really good as well. It's got an amazing display. It comes with a phone case. It comes with a screen protector. So these are things that most premium flagships don't give. Now let's talk about the photos that this camera takes. It's really, well, I would say it's different from the older Oppo phones. It's much more vibrant now. It's much more contrasty. The photos look more real to life. There's not much grain. I think they've come a really long way, and it shows in their photos, especially in this one with Goku. I think it's almost similar to my mirrorless camera, and that's really good. Of course, always in the portrait section there's always some issues, but I think they've done pretty well as well, especially when I kind of blasted light into the lens. You know, the details in my hairs, my face, nothing is overly beautified, nothing is unnatural. Even the blur is somewhat decent. I think I kind of messed around with the blur a bit to reduce it, because I never really liked unnatural blurs. So yeah, you have a surprisingly decent camera system, and I do want to talk about some of the things that actually caught my eye while I was using this phone. Firstly, the face registration was literally 2 seconds, so I don't know whether it's just an image of my face or it's actually the face shape and all that, but it was super fast, and the unlock is super fast as well. It's really fast. Of course, nighttime face unlock is horrible, especially for dark skin. So if you're trying to unlock at night, I think I'll just suggest using the pin. The camera bump is also really big. You always end up touching the lens because it's almost halfway of the phone. I think generally ColorOS has, you know, kind of evolved, become better over the years. It's become more and more interactive and more helpful in that sense. You can now have like small pop-up keyboard for your WhatsApp and, you know, other messaging apps. You can converse while playing games and doing other things in the apps, and the UI allows for really good multitasking now. So there's actually a lot of things you can do in that space of that display. Although the left swipe is a little bit wonky, as it, you know, kind of opens the sidebar instead of going back, but you can turn that off. That's not really an issue. Is this something that you want to get? Because price points have come down. Phones are getting more and more jam-packed. I would say one of the major plus points of this phone compared to the others would be the gaming side and also the charging. The charging is just insane. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it is definitely better priced than the other three counterparts. So this is definitely something you can look at if you're trying to get a new phone. So that's it for this video. If you guys liked it, make sure to hit the like button and smash that subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.